Having borderline personality disorder has been one of the biggest things, one of the biggest hurdles for me to figure out. Um, and I would say that because just in having borderline, it causes you to feel on such an intense scale and on a scale that you can't see coming, essentially. So it's like it's not 0 to 100; it's 0 to 1,000 and through the roof, plus an explosion on top. It's you can't ever predict. In the beginnings, that's where I really struggled. Was that my emotions were very erratic and difficult. They were not stable in terms of the fact that I would be easily affected by things. I wouldn't be able to brush things off. And so these things would spiral. For example, it could be something as valid as, someone legitimately saying something that I felt wronged by. Um, However, it was, it was a combination of, yes, people may say things that don't sit right with me, but it's also, I think, a certain sense of my own responsibility to recognize how these things make me feel, how to, if these situations can't be avoided, how can I just not allow my emotions to immediately get the best of me and rather sit back, remove myself from a situation and think, logically through it before I proceed to act and speak. And it led to a lot of bridges I felt that were burned back in the day, in terms of like high school and whatnot, and even into college, where I it wasn't necessarily that, I ever wanted to be vindictive and go out of my way to hurt people. But what I felt like was a big fear of abandonment in me, which is very prominent in those with BPD, in that I very much struggled to have a sense of self. So, when I don't have a sense of self, it just made it very difficult for me to really associate with anybody and really connect with people as I needed to. And so, that compounded on top of the fact that I'm afraid that I don't want anything to go poorly because I won't be able to handle it if it does, I would tend to retreat anyway. So it led to a very long period of my life where I just became very socially isolated. And that was very difficult to handle. Because again, I think nowadays the support systems that I've built up are some of the most important parts of my recovery.